Yo, what's happening? Guys, it's your boy Uncle P. Israel Adesanya. As you guys can see, I'm currently editing the EFC video. I've got the EFC 95 breakdown and predictions video coming up. I hope you guys like that. I hope you guys didn't give me enough stress. So I'm recording this video the same day I recorded the EFC 95 video. So I'm going to release the EFC 95 video. Today is what? What's today? Friday. Yeah, the 8th of July. So I'm going to release that video as soon as I'm done editing it. Sorry guys. As soon as I'm done editing it, I'm going to release the video. So you guys are probably going to have it tonight. It's 12:30 right now. Well, it's all going to depend on load shedding. I'm uploading an Uncle P video right now. So guys, go ahead. Give your boy some love. Oh, let me do this. Give me a second here. So I'm always running adverts at the back of my screen because I want you guys to check out my other podcasts and other things that I've got going on. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Sorry guys. So we've got Real Talk. There you go. I'm trying to be consistent with how I run the show. Everything needs to be in the right order. So yeah, I'm always running this. So this is obviously advertising all. This is the Uncle P's podcast. I've got another podcast where I talk about relationship, life, and everything else. It all depends on what you guys want us to discuss. And obviously this is the combat sport one, and you guys are not interested in that. But it's all good, man. Anyways, guys, as you saw the heading, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. Okay, so guys, obviously I spoke about this on the previous video. If you guys haven't seen it, the link is below. You guys can check it out. This video here, I was talking about it a little bit briefly after Israel fought Connor, which was a boring fight. But now I've watched Alex Pereira's all of his fights, and obviously I know most of Israel's fights, if not all of them. I've also watched his kickboxing ones. And now I'm going to give my final prediction on how I think each of the fighters needs to fight, who I think will, in the end of the day, come out victorious. Now, guys, simply from going just on the two fights that Israel had with Alex, just those two fights, the first fight was very close. If anyone saw that fight was very, very close. I said it on the previous video that it was a very, 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 very close fight. And if you watch the second fight, like I said, Israel Adesanya was beginning to win that fight. He definitely was going to take that second round, and it looked like he was going to take the third round until he got caught by that left hook. So, when it comes to that fight specifically, that's what I'm saying, those two fights. But I later on asked myself, but hold on, let's see how did he progress, because he then became the one championship kickboxing champion. I was like, oh, hold on, that's actually a big stage for kickboxers. So for him to go that further, to become a champion there, that means he must have gotten better. So I kept watching some of his fights, and this guy, Alex, just kept getting better as a stand-up fighter, and just getting better and better and better and better and better and better and better. Well, obviously then Israel Adesanya also then transitioned to MMA, got into the UFC, and started doing his thing. Now, with all that said, and looking at what both these fighters bring, the packages that these fighters hold, their strengths, their weaknesses, Israel has been able to dominate every single fighter from before I became a champion to the moment he became a champion with stand-up. The only loss that we have seen from Israel in MMA came in the middleweight division. I'm forgetting the guy. Was it Jan Jokovic? Forgive me, guys. So this is the only loss Israel has had. And this loss came because, one, wrestling. They out-wrestled him, took him down, overpowered him, and Israel couldn't do anything about it. So that begs the question. Now, we know the way to beat Israel is through grappling him, because his stand-up is really good. He knows how to work his distance and his range. And if you're really good in the stand-up and you've got a lot of power, he knows how to turn the fight into a boring fight. He'll just run from you, stay from you. He's the champion, so he just needs to touch you a few times, and that's it. So nobody has been able to utilize. Israel hasn't really met real wrestlers. And when he did meet those wrestlers, He was able, some of them, to dominate them, especially in his division. But when he went in a higher division, he was dominated. That means strength plays a very, very big role if you're going to wrestle Israel. Now, I told you guys, Israel, in most of his interviews, he was going on and talking and saying all these things about, submissions, knockouts, and they ended up not even living to the expectations of what they were saying prior to the fight. So Israel was telling us, Israel was never worried about Conir. He knew he was going to win this fight. He knew how he was going to win it. He stuck to his game plan. That was his game plan. Alex became his problem, became his battle, because Alex got 2 wins over him. So psychologically, Alex has an advantage. But do I think Alex has an advantage in the octagon, UFC? Sorry, man, guys. I do shows for EFC also, so sometimes I confuse those two. Does he have an advantage? I think, yes, he does. I think the experience that Easy has in the cage is extremely important. If Alex sticks to his game plan and fights the way he's been fighting, I think he actually wins this fight. I think this is one of those fights that, guys, that Easy is going to have to come and fight. He just can't run. Because if he runs, from the 2 fights that they had, Alex dominated him. But on the second fight, Easy was coming forward, and when Easy puts that pressure, Alex didn't have much to respond. So this fight, believe it or not, is going to come, and the decision on this is going to become on the takedown. Who decides to shoot for that takedown, and who's able to dominate who on the ground? Believe it or not, Easy is either going to have to showcase his ground game and find that submission, or Alex is going to have to showcase his ground game and find that submission. This is where this is going. I'm telling you that right now. Well, guys, my prediction, who's going to take this? Guys, to be honest, I've seen what Easy has done. In the last couple of fights, Easy hasn't turned up. But we know Easy can turn up when he wants to turn up. So what does that mean? What am I saying? Guys, honestly, my ass is tired of Easy, I think this whole thing, especially this walking with the Undertaker, he has a video, I'm going to see, I think I recorded it, where he started talking about Juju and how ancestors and all that. I don't like fighters that use witchcraft, bruh. And for him admitting to witchcraft, I'm actually going to find the video and play it.
Are you stretched for time?
Okay. I just catches light sometimes. So
it's blinding me. He asked me to ask you this question, so I'm asking on his behalf. I have no idea what I'm reading here, just for the record.
No worries.
He really wants me to ask you this question. Jose Youngs, he works for MMA Fighting, he was at the fight.
Right.
He said, when you were kneeling over during Bruce Buffer's intro, I noticed you were chewing on your thumb and then slammed your hand to the ground. Was that you pulling off a summoning jutsu from Naruto? No idea what I just said. Yeah. Or was it a nod to L from Death Note?
L from Death Note, because the last time I fought Whitaker, the character I tapped into was the Shinigami, Ryuk, and also the what's his name, Light Yagami, the I guess, was he a protagonist or antagonist? Yeah, the antagonist. And Rob is the Reaper, so he's supposed to be the god of death. So I was like, I know the real god of death, Shinigami called Ryuk. So I tapped into that, and that had some great consequences later on that we won't go into.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I do these things with intent. I do these things like, there's the world, there's some juju and all that kind of stuff involved, but I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Ancestral, spiritual stuff.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wait, anyway. Did you get in trouble?
Nah.
Okay.
But this time, I knew he was going to come out different. I knew he was not going to come out crazy like he did last time, so I had to outwit him, outsmart him. And L, if you've watched Death Note, is just like
him admitting to witchcraft and then coming out to the Undertaker song. I know it's all entertainment. The people are going to go like, oh my God, what this guy talking about? Yo, I'm black, I'm from Africa. I know people use this shit. Listen, people use this shit. Whether you believe it works or doesn't work, they use this shit. So just knowing that that's also one of the aspects of his game, I'm kind of, that just solidified me being over the nigga, bro. I know we Africans and that's part of our culture, but when it comes to sports, I kind of just want it to be fair, you know? I just kind of want it to be fair. But anyways, that's my opinion. I think Alex Pereira is going to take this win. I want Alex Pereira to take this win. Sorry, my African brothers, man, this is nothing to do with Africa, man. You know, this just has to do with my preference and what I think is going to happen. And I think Alex is going to win. Is he going to dominate? I don't know. Will this fight go all the way to the 5th round? I don't think so. If this fight goes any long, it's going to go 3rd round. Because in the 1st round, if Easy runs away, tries to stay away, or attempts takes down and realizes it doesn't work, and he doesn't have a game plan, so he's got to stick to the kickboxing to prove that he's a better kickboxer, which is what he's going to want to do, egotistically. He was beaten in kickboxing, so he's going to want to turn it into a kickboxing fight. So if he manages to successfully turn it into a kickboxing fight and not get knocked out, or maybe even partially dominate, he's then going to want to seek for, you know, taking it to the ground to possibly finish and win the fight. So that is, you know, he shows that he actually has that ground game. Because there's no way he knocks out Alex or wins the whole 5 rounds on the stand-up. Alex eventually will knock him out. That left hook is nasty. Comes from nowhere. Nowhere. You don't see it coming. Like when he hits it and it happens, you have to wait for the replay to see how he did it. That's how quick and how good that left hook is. And yeah, man, guys, that's my opinion and that's my prediction. I think Alex Pereira becomes the new UFC middleweight champion. And yeah, I see Usman. I see Usman coming through and trying to become double champion, dethroned, because, you know, obviously Easy ain't gonna be champion. So he's gonna obviously he's got a tough fight in his hand. He's got to win that fight first. So if he wins his fight, yeah, man, then he's probably going to try and do that before Easy gets his rematch, so he can kind of block that opportunity from happening. But hey, you know, if Easy gets his rematch, it depends on how Easy loses. You know, if Easy gets his rematch, I think Easy's going to be too emotional and decide to take a bit of time off and not go immediately for the rematch. So, like I said, Usman might want to jump in there, try and go for that title. He's talking about going to the light heavyweights. Nah, I don't think it's going to happen, man. I know he's a big boy, but I don't think it's going to happen. Welterweight all the way to the light, he's just not going to have the strength. I know these guys think muscles play, but nah, those boys are going to eat him alive. Heavyweight, nah, he's talking crazy, you know? He's talking crazy. He's going to get hurt. But yeah, so anyways, guys, that's my prediction. That's what I think is going to happen. They're all just predictions, guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know, man. Uncle P, seriously? Come on, you just hating. That whole witchcraft thing, you're going crazy now. You're losing it, you know? Or maybe I am saying something. It's just my spiritual opinion, you know? Leave all that nonsense out of the cage. Let's fight fair and square. No spiritual nonsense. You trained, you hard, you walk in there. Leave your ancestors to do other shit, man. Africa's going through the most. Let your ancestors fix Africa, you know? You don't need your ancestors to whoop ass. That's all I'm saying. I'm your boy, Uncle P. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. I'm flipping this shit. Peace.